Alrighty, it is the big day today. So I want to go back really quickly and talk to you about solving quadratic equations. It's been a long time, but I told you before that there were 4 different methods to solve quadratic equations. One is by graphing. I don't know if you remember, but we used Desmos, okay? 2 is by factoring. That's when we got the parentheses, and then we set them equal to 0, and we did like the opposite signs, right? So I don't know if you remember any of that, but it was that kind of thing. And then completing the square is the last thing that we just got done doing. So we're finished with these 3, and today we're going to do what is called the quadratic formula. There is a song. You have probably been listening to it. I'm hoping that you're listening to it on replay. I'm even hoping that you are singing it to me on Flipgrid. But if you have a quadratic equation in standard form that looks like this, okay, the quadratic formula is, are you ready? You know I'm totally going to sing it to you. The quadratic formula is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. By the way, if we were in class, you would be singing that over and over and over again. This, ladies and gents, is the one and only quadratic formula. Woo woo! All right, so I thought I would give you a minute to take a breath because you know how I am. And plus, I know you were singing that song in your head, so I know you needed a second. But we're going to talk about today and just focus on right now what is called the discriminant. So the stuff that is underneath the radical sign, the b squared minus 4ac. This is called the discriminant. Not discriminate, discriminant. Okay? And the discriminant is going to tell us how many solutions your quadratic equation is going to have. Okay, so it's going to tell us if the picture, so let's review really quick, when we were graphing, right, when we were graphing on Desmos, if your quadratic equation crosses the x-axis twice, then it has 2 solutions. Okay, if the quadratic equation just comes up and touches it one time, then it only has 1 solution. And then sometimes your quadratic equation didn't touch the x-axis at all, and it has 0 solutions. And so the stuff underneath the radical sign, the b squared minus 4ac, that discriminant is going to tell us which one of these happens, okay? If you do the discriminant and you get a number that is negative, so you get a number that is less than 0, you cannot take the square root of a negative number. That doesn't exist, not in the real world anyway, and so that is when you're going to get no solutions. If you get the discriminant to be a positive number, okay, so you end up getting like the square root of 49. Well, you can take the square root of 49. You're going to get a 7. You can take the square root of 52. You might not get a nice pretty number, but you're still going to get a number, okay? That means that you have 2 solutions. So when the discriminant is positive, it's 2. When it's negative, it's none. Now, what number are we missing? We've got positive numbers, negative numbers. What number are we missing? Well, the number that we're missing is 0. So if the discriminant is equal to 0, that is when you're going to get 1 solution. What is the square root of 0? Well, it's a 0, and so things tend to cancel out, okay? And so that's what ends up happening. So we're going to do a little bit of practice. I'm just going to give you some quadratic equations, and you're going to tell me how many solutions it has. All right, here we go. We're going to crank out 4 quick examples. I want to know, again, the question is, how many solutions does it have? How many solutions are there? Not what are the solutions, that's another day. This day, it's just how many solutions, okay? So the only piece of the puzzle that we're going to do is b squared minus 4ac, that's it, okay? So I'm going to go through, I'm going to label what a, b, and c are. So a is 3, b is 7, c is 2. I'm going to plug it into this formula and figure it out. So b squared minus 4ac. I'm going to do 7 squared minus 4 times 3 times 2. Notice that I'm using parentheses, and I'm going to show you why, especially when we get down to this second one. 7 squared is 49. 4 times 3 is 12, times 2 is 24. 49 minus 24 is 25. This is a positive number. 2 solutions. That's it. That's all you say. Done. Next. All right. A is 1. It's invisible, but it's a 1. B is negative 4, and C is positive 4. So let's do it again. B squared minus 4AC. B squared. So I'm going to do negative 4 squared minus 4 times A is 1 times C is 4. Negative 4 squared means negative 4 times negative 4, which is positive 16. 4 times 1 is 4 times 16 is 16. 16 minus 16 is 0. And since this equals 0, I get 1 solution. Okay? Again, I don't care what it is. I get 1 solution. All right, next. Here's A. Here's B. Here's C. Let's do it again. B squared minus 4AC. Negative 2 squared minus 4. A is negative 3. C is positive 5. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. Negative 4, negative 3 is positive 12. Times 5 makes a positive 60. I'm going to get a 64. That's bigger than 0. 2 solutions. Done. All right, here's A. B is 1 again. Here's C. B squared minus 4AC. So we're going to do 1 squared minus 4 times 5 times 2. 1 squared is 1. 4 times 5 is 20, times 2 is 40. 1 minus 40 is negative 39. That's less than 0. No solutions. That's it. Get ready. I'm singing again. Quadratic formulas, negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Whoop, whoop.